And if you're the type of person who has debt, doesn't know where your money's going, and you really don't want to know because you don't want to know how bad things really are, then that's going to definitely show up in your business. So hello community, and welcome back to episode 2 in my SMARTpreneur series, where we examine how your personal money habits translate to your business's success or failure. Yesterday we talked about the importance of mindset, how that shows up in your personal life, and how that then translates to your business. If you missed that one, go back and watch it. Today we're going to talk about knowing your numbers and how knowing them or not knowing them in your personal life translates to your business life. So let's get started. So knowing your numbers is really a matter of letting go of fear, because people who tend to not know their numbers are people who don't want to know the truth. And if you're the type of person who has debt, doesn't know where your money's going, and you really don't want to know because you don't want to know how bad things really are, then that's going to definitely show up in your business. So what are the numbers that you need to know? Let's talk about it. You need to know your cash flow. You need to know how much is coming into your household, and you need to know how much is going out. That will show whether you have an excess or a deficit, and you have to address it accordingly. Next, you also need to know your net worth. What do you own? What are your assets? Minus what do you owe? Your obligations. And that's going to give you either a positive or a negative net worth. That's an indicator of your current and trending financial health. Now, for those of us who have suffered from, like I have, the pile of mail syndrome, where you don't even want to look at the bills because you know it's only got bad news in it, you're not doing yourself any services. I didn't do myself any services. There were times when I was so afraid to open my mail, I missed out on good stuff that came. There was like a check in there for several $100s that I didn't cash because I didn't know it was there, because I assumed when the envelope came and it looked all official, it was just you owe money, and I didn't want to deal with it. Also, this lack of not wanting to actually deal with your current situation, even if you're not deep in debt and you're not running from anybody, it's not going to help you, because then you're not going to understand what you need to focus on in order to get better. What does that then translate to in business for entrepreneurs? An entrepreneur who's like that in his personal life is going to be like that in his business. He's going to think, oh, well, everything's fine. The money's coming in. What? We don't have problems. We can pay our bills, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, problems are developing, brewing under the surface that we will get caught unawares with. And tragically, failure will come as a result of it. So what do you have to do? You have to be the kind of person who's educate yourself as to your cash flow, knowing your numbers. What does it take to keep this business going? And then what is it going to take to keep the business growing? What will I have to invest in personal education? What will I have to invest in marketing? What things will I invest in? How will I even manage in my business handling my retirement accounts? And if I have a team, what retirement tools will I set up for them? How will I set aside money for taxes that will become due on a quarterly basis? How will I look at prepaying them? What CPA will I use? What accounting software will I use? And how will I regularly check in to stay on top of these things so that my business stays trending in the right direction and isn't silently falling off a cliff? until it's too late and now I'm panicked and I can't even function because I'm more concerned with making this sale to pay this next bill with serving my clients and growing my business. So those are the importance of knowing your numbers. That is about having monetary awareness. And this is another part of my 5 SMART principles that I talk on. So in order to get better in your business, you're gonna have to get better at this in your personal life. If you want to get better at knowing your numbers, I can definitely help you with that. Again, go to my website, intentionalmoneysolutions.com. We can set up a strategy call and I can walk you through getting to know your numbers and how you can make that work for you. That's it for today's tip. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the importance of knowing where your money's going instead of wondering where it went. All right, guys, you have a great day. I'll see you back here again tomorrow.